Thank you, Uncle, for joining. So it's a pleasure to have you and all
It's my
yours.
pleasure. It's my pleasure too. It's a great, great pleasure. Most unwillingly, I joined today. I joined you people because it's a funny thing. Yesterday, I thought it was Friday, and as the evening approached, I was I felt relieved that there is no need for me to speak or say something. I was under the impression that it was Friday yesterday, but anyhow, uh, Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba, everybody. So there are two songs. Oh, I mean, I will not sing the whole. Total length. I will, but I would like to sing two songs, a part of them. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. नमो मेहर बाबा अवतार नमो देव देवा प्रभु नमो मेहर बाबा अवतार नमो देव देवा अपार दिव्या कृपा सागरा अपार दिव्या कृपा सागरा सकल चराचर जगदोधार सकल चराचर जगदोधार नमो मेहर बाबा अवतार नमो देव देवा प्रभु नमो मेहर बाबा अवतार नमो देव देवा अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. The other song is it is written by one of my guides, friend, philosopher, whatever we call. That is his name is Mantravadi Sri Ramurthy. And when I was in Guntur, I came into his contact, and it is now very, long time that he joined Baba. So I miss him. So also the other Murthy, RSM Murthy, who is my mentor, he passed away in 2001. So their memories, their words of wisdom, words of truth, they linger in my ears day in and day out. And as I contemplate on that, I feel miserable because I am nowhere near what they expected of me. And I don't know what to do. That is also there because nothing is wrong and nothing is right. Everything is beyond my capacity or capability or reach, whatever it is. So that is the thing. So I was referring to Sri Ramurthy of Guntur. He wrote a song. So I'll recite a part of it. अभयमीय राधा ना भयमुदीर्च राधा अभयमीय राधा ना भयमुदीर्च राधा अभयमिच्చిన భయముదీర్చిన భవము బాపరాదా అభయమీయ రాధా నేననగాయంత నా తప్పులనగయంత నేననగాయంత నా తప్పులనగయంత సిలువ వేసి హింసించిన వారిని క్షమించితివి గాదా రాలరూయి రాకొట్టిన వారిని క్షమించితివి గాదా నేననగా ఎంత నా తప్పులనగా ఎంత. So the meaning of this song, it goes like that. Why don't you give me the assurance of your protection? Protect me and take out me of this illusion, this quagmire which is suffocating. I cannot live in this. Don't count upon my faults or sins or flaws, whatever it is, because what is the nature of my faults? What is my status? I am such an insignificant creature that you need not take, seriously view them, because you have forgiven those who have crucified you, who caused your death. You have forgiven those who have stoned you, and still you forgive them. So when compared to those sins, my sins are very insignificant. So have pity on me and protect me. So this is a very touching song for me. So day in and day out, I pray to Baba to help me. So because I'm just opening up my inner being to you people. See, whenever we speak to somebody or have an interaction with people, then we only, naturally we present the better side, what you call the side which is acceptable to others. Only that we present, and we hide our dark side. That is the way. So when you are, when you are with Baba, you cannot take this liberty, because one has to be honest. Otherwise, you will be very, very displaced. So that is the last thing one should do. So, but I cannot reveal all my dark side to you people, because of it's of no use. It is because I just wanted to tell you that it's not that what you see is what all that is there. The proverb is there, all that glitters is not gold. So I don't want you to have any, what you call, good whatever it is. So that is, I just leave it to you people, because that was pricking me very much, all this throughout these meetings, and I just wanted to pour out my heart so that Baba would forgive me. So that is that. Now coming to my stories. What stories can I tell you? I have already told you how I came to Baba, how I had Baba's darshan. I was denied darshan when I was about to die. I was deprived of that death, which would have helped me. But Baba had his own plans. He wanted that I should know him, I should love him, and should serve him to the extent possible. Maybe that must be the reason why I survived that. When I was about to drown in the tank, and I uttered Ram's name, and thought that Rama would help me, and that will be the end of my journey. It was all within seconds, fraction of seconds, I can say that. Then I went to Pune to have Baba's darshan. Baba was in the other room, and I was unfortunate. Unfortunate. I feel fortunate. I was denied darshan, and that kept the fire burning in me. Then I had darshan, but what darshan? Baba's physical body. It was lying motionless in the crypt from 2nd February to 7th February till the very last minute. Of course, last minute for the outsiders, not for the Mandli and trustees and people who were engaged in placing the coffin on him. That was there. So that is all good. I can say it's all my good fortune and no regrets about it. And if at all I have to worry, if at all I have to feel miserable, is that though I heard of him, though I love him, I am not able to please him as he wants us to please him. So that is the story. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you, I don't know whether it is useful to you people or not, but that's a fact. The fact is that I was in a bank uh, as a clerk, as an assistant, and then I was given a small promotion and sent to Guntur, where I had beautiful times, where there was so much molding within me. And so when I went to Guntur, I had an opportunity to take up a higher level of placement by writing an examination, and from workman to officer level, that was there. I did well to pass the written examination, and then in the interview I failed. But what happened before I went for the interview, I stood before Baba and told him, Baba, this is a turning point in my life. From 10:30 to 5:30 every day I am bound to the bank. So I work there. And from 5:30 the rest of the time is at my disposal. And again in the morning also, life is at my disposal, time is at my disposal. So now if I take a promotion, I may do well financially. Financially, I will be comfortable because I have 3 children, my wife is there, and I have to take care of them. So that will be a. But if I fail to get promotion, I will never write an examination for promotion all my life. This was in 1977. That is when I was maybe 31 or 32 years. At the so so what happened in the interview? I was somehow my mind was blank. I was not able to answer even a silly question also, and they were the people who conducted the interview. They were aghast to see that I am not able to answer even a simple question. They told, "What happened to you? Are you not in your senses?" I did not know what happened, and anyhow, I was rejected, and I never accepted any promotion in my lifetime again. They called me. They said that you just come to the office next year. You just come to the office, attend the interview, and go. But I never did. So why I am telling you this is that Baba says the way of love is way of self-effacement. I don't. Please don't take what you don't this as an example, but I'm telling you that is how we have to. I mean, people should not take this as an example. In fact, I want people to prosper and be strong, have good money, have good backing, and spend all your energies, financial and whatever is available to you, you put at the use of beloved Baba, so that this period, which is Baba said, it is avataric period. Here nothing counts except work. And I'm happy that there are youngsters like Ganesh who do wonderful work. I adore them. I wish I could work like them. I could work like you people who are running the show. So here nothing matters whether you are good or bad. You have to be, you have to belong only to him. Somebody asked me, what is holding fast to Baba's Daman? The, I mean, spontaneous reply that I gave. There were so many people. Somebody put this question, and what is holding on to fast to Baba's Daman? There were so many others also, but I said, belonging to him. You just belong to him, that's all. That is holding fast to his Daman. So that is why I tell you, neither our pure life, nor impure life, nor anything, nothing counts. Only work for Baba counts, because this is avataric period. Here nothing, nobody takes cognizance of what is in your inside. It's because Baba has accepted you. It is not something very, small thing. It's a very big thing, that out of millions and millions of souls which are there in the universe, in the creation, Baba has chosen us. So we are fortunate. We belong to him. So we must always belong to him. So good or bad, that is the thing. So that is about what I wanted to share with you today. And now I'll proceed further. So you told me, Ganesh told me that I have so much of, because he writes there in the, what you call, invitation, yes, such a wealth of stories and all that. So some of them, they were told to me by a rich, some of them I have read them. I'm a little confused which were told to me and which I read, whatever it is. But today I have two stories which were told by Eric Jaswala himself. So that I am going to tell you. So those were the good days when Amar Tithi times were there. We used to go on 26th January, sometimes 24th January, defying their orders. So but they would permit us somehow. So that is how life went. And Amar Tithi means a joy. You cannot describe in words. The whole year is spent waiting for that great moment when we can see all the great people whom we adore from close quarters. And there was not so much, the rush was not so much there. Now 15, 20, 25,000 people come. Those days 5,000 or so. We had very, very leisure time there we had to, of course we had to work. On 30th, people will come from far off places like Hamirpur, North India, South India, and there would be heavy work. There were not many volunteers at that time. I was in my 30s at that time. I was strong at that time. Of course, today even also I am healthy, but I was strong at that time. I never got tired. So I used to work from morning 6 o'clock till night 3 o'clock or something like that. So there will be continuous what you call flow of buses from North India. They will bring huge what you call luggage with them for cooking, for food, and everything. So we had to climb the buses, bring down the luggage, and so we used to work like that. There was one Mr. Steve Klein. I don't know whether if you people know him. Steve Klein. He was also there with me, and there were others also, but mainly we were there at the reception, and we used to do that work. So that hard work fetched me some soft corner in the minds of, in the hearts of Mandli people. Of course, I never went to them or saw them or did anything. But somehow the uh, people would have, maybe some people must have told him. So they had they had great love and affection for me. And whenever I went to Mehrazad, so Rich would say, "Oh, here comes Amartithi. Amartithi is heralding." That is what he used to say. Pushpan Janardhan means Amartithi is here. So that is how he used to call me. So during that period, he told me one story. So I told you that we used to spend very, long hours behind the cabin, sitting there for long hours up to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the night. Sometimes in the what you call tin shed, where Baba's gadi is there, where Baba ground floor. So, so there also we used to sit. So he told me this story. So that story is about his father's death. They were in Pune when during the day the news came that his father is sick, and he was seriously sick. So naturally, Urich went to Baba and told them that there is a phone call from my house, and my papa is seriously sick. So Baba says, "Oh, is it like that?" He does not pay any attention to that, and the matter is left there. Uh, Perhaps Irich wanted to go to see his father or something like that, but there was no opportunity for him to tell him anything. After some time, maybe another hour, after an hour, again there is a phone call that his father is sick. So again Erich goes to him and tells him, "Baba, my father is sick." So now Baba is little uneasy, uh, not pleased or something of that sort. So he says, "Do you think you should go?" His father is about to die, and he says that, "Do you think should you go?" He says, he keeps quiet. Baba insists, do you want to go?" "No, Baba, no, nothing." So evening approaches, and in the evening he says, Baba sends instructions that some particular uh, uh, liquid diet to be given to Papa. That's all. But he never asks Rich to go and see him. So the night passes, and the news comes in the morning that he's dead. And the the last thing is his funeral will take place. So again, Baba says, "Do you think you should go?" It's a wonderful thing. What sort of God man he is? He's God man. He must be God and man. He must know the feelings of man. That's what I was feeling when he was telling this story. So then I asked him, "What did you do?" No, I did not do anything. I kept quiet. And at about 9:30 or 10, Baba says, "Let us go." So they reached the Bindra house where his father was, where they lived, his parents lived. And they are at a distance. Now, people come, they are making so many arrangements, they have to, give him bath or something of the sort, they have to do some ceremony because according to Parsi Zoroastrian path, they have to do something. So they were busy doing that. He is the eldest son. He is supposed to, from Indian point of view, it is the duty of eldest son to, carry out these last ceremonies, rituals. But Rich was not permitted to go there. Rich was with Baba. And Baba asks him, as if Baba, Yarish tells me that sometimes Baba behaved like a child who did not understand. A 8 years child or a 10 years child who will question you, very, childish way. So he says, "What is that?" "Baba, it is my father who is lying there." "What happened to him?" "Baba is dead." Okay. So what is that they are doing there? "Baba, they are giving him bath and some perfume and all that. So Erich gets irritated. These silly questions. On one hand, his father is no more, and he is not permitted to go and see him. And the other, on the other, he's irritating him with silly questions. So some time passed. Then Baba suddenly says, "Now go and pay your respects there and come." This is still more what you call. It is awkward, for the eldest son to go there and pay his respects and get out from there doing nothing. It's not a big thing for the Jasawala family, but there were so many guests, so many relatives, so many people who knew those people, those Jasawala family. So Erich has to obey that. He goes there and pays his respects and comes back. Now, what will they do? Baba, they will carry him to the Tower of Silence. What they will do there? he will be put to rest there. Oh. So suddenly he changes the question. Now he says, "What did you eat in the night?" He doesn't remember and he tries to recollect and tell something. And then, "What did you eat in the morning?" Again he tells something. "So what happened to that? What you ate?" And Erich says, "What is this? Baba is putting such meaningless questions to me when my mind is totally upset." "What happens, Baba? It is digested. Something of it becomes blood, and the other is excreted the next morning." Baba says, "Do you feel sad for that?" "For what?" "For eating yourself in the toilet." "What is this, Baba? What sort of questions?" No, you tell me." Erich says, "No, Baba." "So what do you feel?" "I feel relieved. Great relief is there." So Baba now says that this body is the excreta of the soul. When you shed it, should you lament? In fact, you should feel that you are relieved of such a great burden. So this is the way how Baba I mean, this story, it remains in my mind all the time. Then another story. In those days, there were 4 days. Amartithi was, I mean, for pilgrims. Of course, for volunteers, it was always there. We had some concession. We used to leave as long as we could stay there. But for pilgrims, they have to come on 29th, 30th there will be a program, 31st will be the main program, and on 1st there is a visit to Meherazad. So that was exciting. We had to arrange buses for the people to go because there will be hundreds of people, and all of them they have to be with I mean meticulous planning. We have to send them and get them back. That is what has happened. I don't know if any of you people have seen those Amartithis. I don't know. So, of course, at that time I was not a volunteer. And as usual, myself, my wife, and my 3 children, my, uh, yes, they were very young at that time. We all went there. And my friend, one Mr. Kashnath, is a close friend of mine. We all went there. We went to Meherazad. So the previous night, what has happened is we had to sleep wherever there was space, and we never liked to leave the hill. So I made my youngest son to sleep on on the way. There was no way. We have to wherever there was a place available, we had to sleep. So I reached with probably hmm, Steve Edelman. I don't exactly remember these names. Steve Edelman and maybe Rick Chapman and some other foreigners. Gary Kirshner. So all these people they were coming up the hill, and he came to my son's place, and he stood there. He was he was totally covered. You cannot see who is sleeping there and all that. But all the same, he stood there for a few minutes and looked at him intently. That much I can tell you. Okay, because my son, so what I feel, my son was in those days, when he was very young, he never liked anything except Meher Baba. As a child, if there is, see what happened, my brother was married. So I came from Guntur to Nizamabad, and from Nizamabad we had to go to another place where the marriage was being performed. So we all went in a bus to that marriage place, and my child, my son, started crying. He said, "Where is Meher Baba Bhajan?" Meher Baba Bhajan, okay, it. So he said, "No, I will not come out. If there is Baba's photo, I'll come. Otherwise, I'll not come." So with great difficulty, we had small photo, and we arranged in this rush of things. Baba's gathering there. It was rather forced on the other side of the people, where our so that was his way. Nothing except Meher Baba. That was his way. So he was just like a what you call a must type. So he would not understand the ways of the world, but whenever Baba's name is there, he was very happy, and Baba's photo. That was all that mattered to him. So that is the background I tell you. So he came and stood there, and it was over. And again, in the next morning, we all went to Meherazad. So I was carrying him and so Erich comes to me and he says, "Do you know this boy is running temperature?" Without touching him or anything, he says that this boy is running temperature. So I'm sorry, I don't know. So he says, "Come on, give him." He he lifts him and this is all in Mehrazad. Perhaps he went to his room and from there he bought a banana and gave it to my son. That is one thing. Then what happened is that we sat there and there was, see, hundreds of people were there. But I don't know how we got time. He was sitting there, there were so many others. Then I asked him, how did you come into Baba's fold? And then, are you married? So he told me the story of his marriage. So there, in Mehrazad, in Mandali Hall, he told us that we were about 10 to 12 people or maybe 15, 20 people. I don't remember anything. I only remember him, he's telling the story. He told me, he told us that when Baba asked them to give up everything, they wind up everything in Nagpur, sell the property and come to Mehrabad in 1938 on the deadline was May 1st, I believe. Now I don't remember, but May 1st. Or 3 months, I mean, he went to Panchagani there, he met Baba. Baba asked him to leave everything and come to him. And he said, okay, I will come if your grace is there. And then he said, can you also bring your family, your parents, your mother, sisters? If your grace is there, everything is possible and all that. You may be knowing all this story. So then they came, wound up everything in Nagpur, and they were staying with Baba. So before they came to Baba, Erich was, perhaps they were in love with each other, or at least they liked each other, whatever it may be. So there was a girl who was, who was to be married to him. So there is a engagement like thing, and they decided they should get married. And after this, Erich leaves everything here in Nagpur and goes to Meher Baba, and he's with Baba all the time. So life with Baba is so busy that he had no time to think of anything else. Only Baba was there day and night. His cause was there. He has to serve him and obey him whatever he wants. And there was naturally there was no time to think of the girl or the engagement or marriage or anything of the sort. But the parents of the girl, they were very interested. So after it was about 9 years now. 9 years time has elapsed. That must be in 40s, whatever it is. So the parents of the girl, they remind these people, what about marriage? The girl is waiting. We are waiting. So this Papa, Jasawala and Gai Mai, they tell, no, we honor that. We will perform the marriage. But we have to get permission from Baba. So the matter reaches Baba. Baba suddenly, oh, is that you have to be married? I just forgot about it. As if he never knew that. So he's a good actor. So he says that. And then he says, all right, we'll fix up. So Erich says, no, Baba, you have to attend my marriage. Oh, yes, of course I'll attend. So he selects the date and time, and the place is Nagpur, and they go to on the fixed day they go there, and the marriage is performed. See, in Hinduism, what happens? There's a holy fire after the marriage. They take 7 rounds, and they bow down to the elders and all that. So similar thing happens in Zoroastrian culture also. So there were. He said some pillar was there. Baba was leaning against the pillar. He put his hands back, and he was leaning against the pillar. That he has clearly told me. And taking the going around the fire, holy fire, they came to him, to Baba, and they bowed down to him. Baba was extremely happy. He said, Rich, I'm very happy. So he asked the girl, are you happy with the marriage? Of course, Baba, because they were waiting for 9 years. Of course, Erich maybe Erich had no time to think of marriage, but that girl had ample time. All the time she was concentrating on that, contemplating on that. So she says, "Yes, I am very happy." Now, how will we do it? Now who will keep watch, night watch, when I sleep? The girl says, "Of course, Erich will do that." Oh no, you are now married. No, 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 Baba, no problem, Baba. He will stay with the men mandali. I will stay with the women mandali. Oh, that's good. Uh, Now I want to give you a gift, marriage gift. They were very happy because you are receiving a gift from the hands of God Himself. What else can you? What else? What else do you want in the world? Said, we like. Richard, I am happy. I will accept it. Then he asked that girl also. She says, yes, Baba, I will accept. She never knew what is going to happen. Baba says, the gift is that from this moment onwards, you are brother and sister. No more married couple. So that is the story, how his marriage was performed. So never after that they had any connection. And I don't know much about the woman, what happened to her, but he told me um, only recently, that is in 90s, late 90s, he told me that only recently she passed away. That is what he remembered about that woman. Erich told me that. This is one story. There is another story. Just, I mean, at the start, at the beginning, I sang a Telugu song that has great meaning for me. Of course, that is a beautiful song. Baba liked it. Baba asked even people in London also to sing this, start the bhajan or gathering with this song. That's what I was told. So this song was sung to him in his praise in Tadepalli Gudem in Andhra. Tadepalli Gudem in Andhra, when his 60th birthday was celebrated. That is in 1954 on February 25th. So on 24th February, the night, there is a program at a distant place, Gopalpuram. So after darshan there, mass darshan there, the party returns to Tadepalli Gudem. Baba was housed in a guest house. So those were the times where in 1954 you can imagine how the world was. There were no amenities there. There was nothing, only some room was there and nothing. Maybe there must have been some cots and all that where Baba was to take rest. And it was very late, very, very late in the night, about 2 o'clock in the night. So about 3 o'clock, Baba wants Hirish to arrange for hot water. There is neither geyser nor stove, now stove, nothing. So, but Rich, he never gave up anything for any silly reason. He would try, he would put all his heart into that. And whatever Baba has asked him to do, he would never fail that. So he cannot complain to Baba that we do not have a matchbox here, we do not have a stove, we do not have any fuel, we do not have anything to warm the water. So now he is worried. He comes out of the room and he looks for some. So he finds that there are so many trees and there are some dry tracks there. So he started collecting them with the idea that he can make some fire with that and maybe find some vessel to get water and do something. It was in the wee hours, very dark, but at the distance, It's a long distance. There is the gate, very big gate, and he sees somebody there. He was horrified because it was very late and Baba never wanted any disturbance from outsiders. So he was very strict about that. So Erich was very, I mean, he became panicky and he ran to him. And Erich does not know the local Telugu language. And that man, the man who has come, he does not know anything except Telugu. See the beauty of things. So he finds that he is carrying a vessel on his head. So he somehow he asks him so many questions, and then he tells that his name is what is his name? Very, but I'm sorry, I forget his name. He's a very popular man, Baba lover.
Is it Bapiraju
But
garu?
Yeah,
yes,
this is
thank you,
Bapiraju.
Bapiraju.
Yeah.
Bandela Bapiraju, Bandela Bapiraju. Thank you, Prakash. Thank you very much. So he's there standing. He's carrying a vessel on his head, and Erich finally realizes that it is hot water, and the man has brought that hot water with the feeling that maybe Baba requires that hot water. So he was very happy, aghast at the outcome. But anyhow, he thanked him profusely and took the water, and Baba Baba took his bath. So in those wee hours, and Erich was very eager to tell him how he got the water, hot water. But Baba would not permit him. He was very I mean, he's such a beautiful beloved that he only knows his ways. So he was very, and he tried every time he wanted to broach the subject. Baba would say that he is not allowed. So the days passed, 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, like that, and the party returned to Satara from Andhra tour, and afterwards, so for months he has remembered that Erich wanted to tell him how he got the hot water, but Baba would not permit him to tell him. And then, in course of time, Erich also forgot about it, about everything about that. So then the Baba started to, I mean, he gave instructions to Erich to draft out the trust deed of the Armeer Baba. So they all together they were working out, and the question of beneficiary scheme, and they started. Some people suggested this name and someone that name. So it went on for about a month, and it was finally it took the shape, and everything was okay. And they said that this is going to be final. And then Baba started grumbling in his own inimitable way. He started grumbling. Oh, we missed him. He would say this to Erich. So who, Baba? He says, oh, we missed him. And the day passes. Again, the next day he reminds him, we missed him. He missed him. Baba, you tell me who is that man? No, we missed him. So finally, Erich got irritated and said, Baba, don't behave like a child. Tell me, who is that person? So Baba says, the man who brought hot water for me. So Erich was aghast, and he was made a beneficiary, and in course of time he had to pay income tax on that. So he said, he told me, if we receive some help from somebody or some kind words from somebody, we say thank you very much, and we forget. Really, we forget, or sometimes we remember, but we don't remember all the time. For years we don't remember. So Baba says here that God won't thank, but He remembers. So that is whenever somebody thanks me or whenever I thank somebody, I get that story. And that's not the way of thanking. The real way of thanking is to return in love. So another instant. Again, those were the beautiful days when there were not many people for Amar Tithi. It's wrong to say that people are. I mean, we should not say that. The, it's not good times now. No, it's not like that. Every time is, all the times they are good times. All the times are sweet times. But we fail to enjoy those. But that is human. What we can do. So, so I call it wonderful sweet days. So there used to be near the Dhuni. There used to be a canteen that was run by Dehradun people. Otherwise, there was no canteen in those days. You cannot get tea or eatable anything. So whenever the food was given by the trustees, by the trust, we had to take food. But you cannot expect tea or something of the sort. So, but these Dehradun people, they have a sort of made an adventurous thing, and they opened a small tea canteen or something of that, and they would serve the people late till the night, and in the night they will come dancing to the samadhi. So they will sing, dance, and that was very heart touching, very beautiful. Of course, Irich, I knew Irich, but Irich did not know me. And I told you, my friend was there with me, Kashnath Pawar. We were there. And Irich came, the party came. And Irich was there before the Samadhi. And those days, one Mr. Sitaram of Pune, Pune, not Pune, what is that? Kanpur, Kanpur wala. He used to bring huge quantities of sweet for being distributed as prasad to all the pilgrims. So that man passed away, and his wife was there. His wife she was doing that duty. So the whole party, the Dehradun party, they came, and this lady was there. I was there. Kashnath was there. Erich was there. I don't know where he was, but suddenly he appeared before the uh, doors of the Samadhi. Then these people, they started dancing. So the lady, of course, dancing is sometimes it is aberrant because it spoils your what you call tranquility. Normally we make a lot of noise and all that, but this was different. They were dancing to the tunes of their hearts. And there were kids, there were older generation, and there were young people like me. Of course, I was young at that time. And suddenly, this woman who was sitting by the side of this samadhi, she gets up. She is in her 60s. You can imagine a lady 60 year old. She comes to her age, and they see as we dance, man and woman, they dance. You hold each other's hand, and they started dancing like this. So they will. It went for quite some time, maybe about 15 minutes or something like that. So I never saw a dance which was so beautiful. I was in my joyful state, and time and again, Rich would see encircle. So he would go this way, that way, and whenever it is possible, he would throw a glance at me. It went for went for some time, and you see, it was not well illuminated. It was all dark. Even in that darkness, I was able to see that Irij was looking at me. He was throwing glances at me. So that is another thing. So Ganesh, are you satisfied? Because I do not have any more stories.
This can go on. It's all up to you till when you want to tell. Your stories are very like takes us back, and we were like truly enjoying. So you can, if you have something more, you can definitely share. It's all up to you. Just we don't want to tire you too much. It's all up to you. What all you want to share, you can share.
It's not. It's not. I mean, question of tiresomeness. I never feel when I think of Baba. I don't remember anything. I just remember that what has happened those days. Yes, one more thing. Yes, I was telling you about the tin shed where Baba used to grind flour. Grains there. So there we were sitting. A rich Divana, Edelman, Steve Edelman, and many of them they were Westerners, and myself and my wife Pushpa. Pushpa was very young at that. Of course, we were very young. So we used to wait very long so that somebody should suggest that they should have tea. So because see one more thing, I could understand English, but my wife she did not understand English, and they were all Westerners. This naturally it was very difficult for me to understand their accent. Those days it was very difficult, but all the same, we used to sit there, and sometimes Erich would say uh, a word here and there, or sometimes he would tell something. Even it's good. Even if he says that good, that was also enough for me to hear something so sweet which will soothe my heart, my soul. So we would wait for any length of time. So at about 2 o'clock in the night, they would say, "Come on, let us have our tea." So we all walk towards the, Andhra canteen now. People run Andhra canteen there. It was not run by, so there were not many canteens there. Only one canteen was there, and we all used to go. And when the question of payment came for tea for everybody, I used to pay. I would just be on the watch. As soon as the, tea is finished, people they are about to get up. I would run to the counter and pay. So Irich would laugh at me. He would say, "Okay, good." So many times, many nights it happened. One day, what happened? We all went there, and then normally what happened is that I would not myself suggest tea. Somebody would suggest tea, and then we will all leave. But that day, I suggested tea. Eric said, "Yes, we'll go." So he said like this, Eric. So we all went there. So there were good number of people, about 20 people. So all had tea, and then again I said, any second round, if anybody wants. So some people said, okay, it's enough, and some people, but he said, I want second time. so, so that is the thing. I can never forget that. So we had tea, and we would walk down the hill to the, I mean, tents. There used to be only one tent for gents, one tent for women on the, what you call, opposite to Dharamshala, the place. Now where eight tent is, we run eight tent there now. And also, uh, I had to do night duty in those days at the tent. So normally I would see that my duty comes at about 3 o'clock in the morning. That is early in the morning, so that up to 3 I can spend time with Rich, and come and again do duty here. So sometimes what happened, he would visit the places, and he would find me there, and my friend Kashnath, "Oh, you are here again." He would say that. So these are the sweet memories that will give me immense happiness. And whenever I think of those days, I, I just live on those memories because there is nothing that I can change in myself or in the world. I only wait for His grace to be kind on me, to open my heart
Beautiful.
and take me to Him. Yes, sir. What did you say, Ganesh?
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing so much. And it's always pleasure to hear from you. And and what this reminds of Jeff's words, like we can spend next 700 years listening to these stories.
True, 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 true. That's true. That's true. That is true.
Mm.
That is
I have
very
a
true.
question. I have a
Rose,
question.
Yeah, please.
My name's Janardhan. Is that how you say your name?
Yes, Janardhan. Yes.
Janardhan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I have heard that before about Eric. You know, he was going to be married. Uh, but
you,
my understanding was, yes, Baba said, now you are brother and sister, that he took care of that because that was a long time that she was waiting in India. And my understanding is Baba said he would take care of it. Also,
Yeah.
that's, that seems important to me. That's where I heard it before. And I don't know who she was. Do you know the name of who she was?
Please, Ganesh, help me. Ganesh, help me. ఆమె ఏం చెప్పింది నాకు
Was
అర్థం
her
కాలేదు.
last name
so
Damani?
sorry, Rosal, your voice wasn't clear, so we couldn't clearly get it, everything. Something, it went low in between. So just trying to understand your question clearly. Uh,
My question is,
yes.
there is a little bit more to that story of Baba saying, now my gift to you is you will be brother and
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah, true.
Yes. But
Hmm.
my memory of hearing that
Hmm.
was Baba took care of her.
Baba?
Took
Yes,
care of her.
made her Baba
Hmm.
assumed the role, taking care of her.
Yeah,
And
true. It was, but
yeah, that's like important to say. You know,
yeah.
I,
No,
I don't things kind of flip. You know,
I have to add something to it. I have to add something to it.
you know, because it was Baba and he took care of
Yeah,
her.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
True.
because
It was.
I've also heard that she was not very happy.
Who was not very happy?
She was not very
Ah,
happy
yeah,
with
true.
that
Yeah, true.
outcome.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we all have our limitations.
Yeah, true.
But
Yeah.
so, but what is her name? I heard that her last name was Damani. Do you
I'm
know
sorry.
that?
I think her name,
I,
if I'm correct, her name was Khurshid Damania. Is that her
Portia.
name? Khurshid.
Okay. Is she
maybe.
related to Damani Damania?
Damania.
That, okay. So she's kind of related to Eric. Some of the Damanians, I don't know, there's a lot of connections. Anyway, that's just all I'm going to say. I mean, I appreciate hearing that, but I want to hear it all.
No, he said. Now I have to add something to it. So of course, apparently the woman was not happy, and she used to live somewhere, and Baba would take care of her, and she went to some other guru master. She left Baba, and because leaving avatar, coming to Baba, and then going is very unfortunate thing. That should not happen to anybody. It should never happen to anybody. So that woman, she left and she followed some master and all that. But Baba said, because she has given me rich, I forgive everything and I protect her. That is his promise. Because Rich is so dear to me, and
Yeah,
she has given me that
yeah,
Rich.
yes,
That's,
yeah. I mean, there is a beauty to that.
yeah, it's not a
And
small
also,
thing.
others said to us, so-called religion, that, like even Baba says, how can they leave? Again, he's everywhere. How can you leave
We
him?
cannot leave
So,
because he's everywhere, everything. How can we leave? He, even if we
yeah,
want to leave him, it's not possible because even in our feelings also is there. Yeah, we think that we are holding fast to Baba, and we are it's all our foolishness. It is only who holds us very tightly. It's a tight grip that we are. See, I told you about Arishan Murthy. I have to tell you something of this nature. So he once went to a spiritual master, and there he did not bow down to him, Harisan Murthy. It was a very huge gathering. There was so many people who were followers of that man, that spiritual leader, Hindu leader. And he just folded his hands and he was standing before him. And then the whole crowd feels awkward because there is a master and this man defying that man. So he says, his friend says, he is a Meher Baba lover. That's the reason why he is not bowing down to you. So he says that the భ్రమర కీటక న్యాయం, తెలుగులో భ్రమర కీటక న్యాయం మనం అంటాం మనము. The భ్రమర కీటక న్యాయం, that is the relationship, the analogy of humble bee and an insect. An insect is picked up by a humble bee, it puts it on a wall, builds a hovel round the uh, insect, and it is it has no freedom to live. The insect is inside the small mud hole, and every now and then, very frequently, the bumblebee will come and with its sharp sting, it pricks. So this insect, helpless creature that it is inside the hole. It has no freedom. So it goes on pricking, 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 and the insect remembers only thing, the prick at the bee. So the insect is totally conscious of bee, and one fine day it comes out of the oil as a bee itself. So if the insect is, if it is in the hands of a crow, it will eat away. It cannot even come as a crow. But this insect, which has to pass through so many stages of evolution, has got a promotion that it has become an insect crawling on the mat in the dirt. So such an insect is chosen by the bee, and it has become a bee itself. Bee, uh, in course of time. So he used to quote that R.S.N. Murthy. Now that we are all we can say he has his catch. He will never leave us till he makes us all Meher Baba. So there is that is the finality. That is the finality. So, but we cannot wait till such finality comes in due course. We are we are genuine. I mean, it is good that we are worried about our relationship with him. Baba said that if at all you have to worry, you have to worry how to remember me. That because that will, bring about to remember him will bring about the end of all worry, and we'll become worryless, free birds, and be belong to Meher Baba. That's all. Thank you very much, Jai Baba, to you all. And I have nothing to tell more in future. We really, standing before you and telling something is a very, very difficult thing for me. But when I do it, I enjoy it. I really enjoy. I forgot time. I forgot everything. I don't remember anything. It's already 8:55. 10 minutes passed. Every time it happens like that. I don't know why it happens. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And,
So, so every
But
time I call up that,
you know,
yeah,
yeah,
I want to say this that you
yeah.
know it's like you're recounting your times with Mayor Baba. Of course, we want to hear this, you know, but also you have to
Rosal, I
go.
can't get you. Rosal,
No,
we aren't able to. Yeah, yeah, yes.
can you hear me?
Now it is better. Yes.
Oh, okay. Anyway, you're not the only person that feels, you know, how can I share my life, you know, my times? I'm not a public speaker, you know. He has made public speakers out of. I know there was a Baba lover who met Baba, Phyllis Frederick. She was very, very shy, and Baba made her into a public speaker for Baba, for Baba.
Yeah.
You know, because she was, and when you see her on films, they film her talk. She looks very relaxed. She was not relaxed. It was difficult, but Baba, so Baba's helping you too.
Yes, Frederick.
Yeah,
No, it's like this. So what happens is that whenever Ganesh asks me to speak, I feel tense, and I said, "Will I be able to, be truthful, honest, and whatever I tell, you should not misguide people or something of this sort." And at the same time, what else can I speak? Because I have nothing of mine. I have to tell the stories of others. So how they are going to entertain, or rather, uh, make you uh, absorb that. So that's my worry. But once I am with you people, I just forget time. I just whenever I tell something, I go back into that, and I feel extremely happy that such a thing has happened to me. So thank you very much for reliving those,
But
reliving. Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
but you're a
Thank
great
you.
Yeah.
speaker.
Huh?
You're a great speaker. I mean, you really flow like beautifully. I mean, you have a knack of telling stories. So the more you remember, the more you should share.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is the what you call uh, paradox, right? I'm not a good speaker.
No, you are actually, at least that's what I think. I mean, I'm sure
You
most
are.
of us agree. Yeah.
No.
And you could ask, it might help you could ask, if people would ask you questions, you can open up and say, would you
yeah,
have something? It helps to
Yeah, true.
encourage the remembering. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
But
that
I
is true.
love your stories. And I feel the same way. I think it's scary to talk to me.
No, never. I am very, very. I feel very blessed to have. I mean, be in your company all these days, and I feel very happy because I can only remember the past, the glorious past, and feel that once again. There is one more little thing because I don't know whether next time I will be able to speak
Oh,
or
you'll be
not.
there next time. Not next time. There are many more times.
No, no, but this very small thing, so in those early days again, I was in the lower Mandali hall, and Pendu was about to leave Mehrabad for Mehrazad. So it was in the doorway. I was standing there, and give a small message to Rich Savala. I said, of course. I was very eager. He said, you tell him that Pendu has left. Pendu and Balnadu, they have left for Meradha. This is the information you have to give to Arey Jaswala. So I ran up to the hill and I found that Erich was there. He was surrounded by so many people. Uh, Great numbers are there, and everybody was listening very attentively. And I was also immersed in that, but I had a duty. So I somehow forged ahead and I went near him. He was able to notice me, but I did not disturb him. I was just waiting, waiting. It took nearly 2 hours before there was a break or something of that sort. So I had to wait, and I was happy. I was not worried about the time, but I was worried that I should give him the message. So I was standing there for a long time. He must have observed it. And when there was an opportunity that people dispersed, they were going here and there. Then I slowly reached, there is a message for you. He said, what is that? I told that Pendu has left for Merazat. So he took my hand. Even today I feel his touch. It was so beautiful. He took my hand and held my hand like this for quite some time. He looked into my eyes and asked, who are you? I was shaken. Who are you? I thought that he was asking about my past, of my past lives or something, of which I have no idea at all. But I kept silent for quite some time. And then, yes, who are you? He asked me. So I said, my name is Janardhan Rao. So he said, thanks. But he was holding my hand nearly for 5 minutes. I feel the touch even today. That is one of the greatest feelings. So thank you all, and I have exceeded the time, and
No,
I
that's not called something called as exceeding.
Can I ask you one last question, please?
please.
And thank you very, very much for speaking with us. And you are an extraordinarily wonderful speaker. I really mean that from my heart and soul.
I do understand that. I do realize that.
My question is about Baba and the blue bus trips, and I relate it to all of us living here now in the 21st century with all the emotions that we experience. And my question is, do you know from Mandali what kind of guidance or encouragement or words did Baba say to the Mandali on the blue bus trips with all the dangers that they experienced? Their emotions must have been triggered. And I ask you the question, if you can impart some insight, what kind of guidance did Baba give those Mandali on the blue bus dealing with their emotions, with their reactivity? Because they were in dangerous situations. They were in many situations that we've heard a little about. And I wonder what kind of encouragement or words did Baba tell the Mandali on those blue bus trips? Because their emotions, I'm sure, were challenged, and maybe every day. Whatever you might say on that, I think we'd all be grateful.
Brother, I'm sorry. I have no idea about what Baba has, what encouraging words Baba has said to them. I never heard anything from Eraj Jasawala, or for that matter from anybody. There must be some details about that. But what I feel, that his presence was all the encouragement. His being with them, that is the greatest thing. In all small and big things, he used to sometimes give water. I heard that when the accident took place in Satara, when Erich came out. Erich was thrown out. Erich came out to see Baba. Baba said to him, "Would you like to smoke?" It is the greatest, what you call, it's not a, satirical this thing. Baba was all concerned that he was, he was injured and he needed some smoke for relief. So that is the concern of Avatar Meher Baba.
Thank you very,
So
very
this-
much.
So what can we expect? About Satar also he told me, but we'll now recollect this. I will tell you if there is some opportunity in
There's
future.
always a next time. Yes, sure.
Always
But that will be very short.
So because yeah, whenever I call up Janardhan uncle, he's like, "What can I say?" I say, "You just come. There is lot. Once you open up, there is lot you can share." So I know I like Betty says we can do the question and answer. Maybe you can
Yeah.
speak like
Yeah,
that more.
that'll be interesting. Yeah.
Yes, probably next time we can do that definitely.
Sri Ganesh, I am a very poor reader. I don't read books, and I only remember things that either happened to me or that I have heard from others who are very dear to me, who are really great people. So Bill, I know, uh, yeah, yes, R.S. Murthy's words. I see. I have uh, completed writing a book on R.S. Murthy. It is it is going to be printed very soon, published very soon. But all those words, whatever words he has used, if you go through that, you can't believe that I can recollect all those things now and write. Because he told me once that at the appropriate time you will get everything. When I was quite young at that time. He used to tell me so many things. For 6 months, I would go to his house every day. And why I went there, I used to have breakfast with him because they prepared idlis in their house, and I liked idlis. And it is no way I could get idlis in those days in 1966. So for that reason, I would go to his house early in the morning, and he knew that I would be coming. When I came, he would wait for me, and we will eat idlis. And after that, he would tell me so many things. For 6 months, he told me so many secrets about Vedas, Upanishads, and all that. And after that, after 6 months, he asked me, I'm a college student at that time, did you understand anything what I told? After 6 months, I could not, I could not lie. I, I was ashamed, and I just kept my head down and feeling sad. Then he says, don't bother now. You will remember all these things at the appropriate time. So when the book is, read by you people, you will wonder how it has come. Okay, Jai Baba. Thank you again. I think I must stop now.
Jai Baba, it was wonderful
Jai Baba,
to
Jai
hear
Baba.
you.
Jai Baba,
Jai
Jai
Meher
Baba.
Baba, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you all.
Can I
Thank you all,
say-
Jai
Can
Baba.
I say one more thing? You reminded me. I'm sorry. Is that okay, Ganesh?
No, no problem.
Yes, please.
I,
Yes,
I
please.
can,
Yeah.
I can wait any long, there is no any length of time I can wait. You
Your
can please.
story reminded me of what you say with Baba talks, making sure that Erich was all right after the accident in Satara. There's a movie with Mara talking about the 1952 accident. I put a link in the. Oops. Oh, I've got to. Sorry, I'll put a link. She and Baba said exactly the same thing. Baba wanted to know if she was who she was. They were both hurt, but they both reassured each other. No, I'm really okay. Mara talks about it in this movie. somehow Baba conveyed to her, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Oh yes." Even with this terrible injury, she said, I'm okay." They had the same kind of exchange that you are talking about here. I will. It's a very heart. It's a hard movie to watch because she's so sad, but it's
Naturally.
beautiful. But I'll put the link. It's here, and maybe somebody might want to watch it. They were so
Sure.
concerned for each other.
And thanks, Betty, for getting that right now, because May 24th is on Monday, so we are just there this event, and you just reminded us of that. So it really is something, like you reminded us at the right time.
Yeah,
So,
beautiful. That's good, really.
because May 24th is just Monday, and today we are on Friday, 2 days away. So thank you for that, Betty.
Now should we go?
It's finally Jai Baba. It's really Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba
Avatar
ki
Meher
Jai.
Baba
Baba
ki
ki
jai.
Jai. Avatar Meher
Avatar
Baba
Meher
ki Jai.
Baba ki
Baba
jai.
Jai.
Okay.
Avatar
Avatar, Meher Baba
Meher
ki
Baba ki Jai.
So Ganesh, you know what to do next, right?
Yes.
Don't
So,
do it.
yes.
We will keep you busy with questions.
But I don't know. I will not be able to answer those because I'm not a well-read person.
No,
I
not
just,
that. Baba will see you. Baba will make it happen. Just like today's session, just Baba made it happen. And like when I called him up, he said, "What is there for me to speak?" I said, "You come, and there is lot you will." And Baba will make it happen. So Baba will make it happen.
Yeah.
Wonderful
Jai
talk.
Baba.
Thank you. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba, everybody.
Jai Baba. Thank you, Uncle. Wonderful.
Jai
You
Baba.
come at such a short notice and
Yeah.
wonderful stories. Thank you, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.